Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. We are in the Ultra League Summer Cup and rocking a team with double electric types. Bellibolt in the back, but the star of the show might just be Galvantula, a Pokemon that used to be pretty meta in the Go Battle League, maybe not quite as meta anymore, but pairing it with Kingdra Safe Swap and Bellibolt in the back has proven to be pretty effective with this team. And we go on a pretty nasty run, so I encourage this as a potential team to try out yourselves, as I've had some pretty decent success with it. And here we go. Kingdra Safe Swap has always been an annoying Pokemon to deal with because you have that chance for the Octazooka debuff where you debuff your opponent by 2 stages in their attack, and suddenly they ain't doing much damage. In this situation, we get the Protect Shield advantage, and then we are going to go for a big Fury Cutter down with our Galvantula. We know that Galv is lined up against the Skeledirge anyway, so we're just going to take this. They give up Switch, potentially a big mistake, because now we can lock our Bellibolt onto the Skeledirge where we deal super effective Sucker Punch damage, and we are going to get off this Parabolic Charge. Oh, not quite. Going up past the Parabolic Charge to maybe put it in a range where it will knock out. And we get the final Protect Shield. I'm going to shield again, and this is where Bellibolt is so dangerous. You start to ramp up your defense. And look at this. We actually get the full farm down. We have all this energy. We're double boosted. It's a Caesar in back. They do catch our Parabolic Charge, but this is totally fine. And this is the reason I didn't bother throwing the Zap Cannon, was if they did catch the Zap Cannon, maybe that could open up like a lose condition. But here, I'm just going to throw Parabolic Charge again, and there's no way they can take us out with a single move. They're going to throw 2 moves at us, and if they throw 2 moves at us, then Galvantula will just be able to close. So Bellibolt here in game number 1 doing Bellibolt things, ramping up its defense. Similar to Dedenne in the Great League, Bellibolt in the Ultra League can be a lot to deal with that Parabolic Charge attack. And we go to game number 2. My Galvantula is best buddied with this team. Next opponent, here we go. Galvin to Crustle, kind of a weird matchup, right? They have the access to super effective Rock Slide, so something we have to be careful of. They, I think, go immediately for X-Scissor, but I do shield it anyway just because Galv is quite squishy, and X-Scissor would do a lot of damage. We're going to go for the lunge here against Shadow Crustle. It connects, and they switch out into Genesect. I don't have an obvious answer, and I throw lunge because I figure maybe I'll get a shield, and if not, I can debuff this thing and then go into something else. We're going to go for the lunge here. Will they put up a shield? I've already used both my Protect Shields, so not ideal. I'm going to overfarm, and catch onto Bellibolt, who can take the energy a little bit better. This way I have some energy stored on Gal for later. And because the Genesect is debuffed, should be able to take a move pretty comfortably here from Genesect and go for a full Sucker Punch down. They are going to let themselves get farmed down, not switch lock themselves. In comes Golisopod. This is pretty good for us. They're at 4 Shadow Claws. They should be 1 away. Are they going to let us get off another Parabolic Charge? They are, so maybe a slight mistake from the opponent. I think they would have been better off throwing their Aqua Jet immediately, but they let us get off another, and then I combo play with the Discharge. I was only 1 Fury Cutter away, so we're playing aggressive here. Discharge lands. They swap back in Crustle, and they do get the farm down. So I'm thinking, can I like snipe with 1 Dragon Breath maybe, or do I just come in Bellibolt? I decided to come in Bellibolt, because what I didn't want to happen is have them get this move off on Kingdra and put me into range where they can 2-shot my Kingdra with double X-Scissor. So I didn't take that risk. I come in with Bellibolt instead, and now we should be pretty safe, where they would need 3 X-Scissors to knock out our Kingdra, and I don't think they're going to be able to get quite there. They had a lot of energy, but just not quite enough to knock out the Kingdra. That was probably pretty close, though. They were probably getting close to a 3rd X-Scissor in that situation. GG. Next battle. Doughboy. The Pillsbury Doughboy. What you got for us? Another Skeledirge lead. And one thing that was good about this team was even in a devastating lead for Galv like Skeledirge. There was quite a few games where we were able to overcome Skeledirge lead, which is oftentimes the sign of a good team, right? When you can overcome bad leads. Here we're met by Empoleon, the Emperor Penguin himself. They're going to fire off another Drill Peck here. And Empoleon's not quite in Octazooka range, so I am going to try and build up to that Outrage. And this way, I guarantee I take back Switch or I get the shield advantage. Octazooka, don't think it would have been enough potentially to knock out Emp. It would have been close. They do farm me down, which isn't great, but I come in Bellibolt. Now we have the alignment that we want. Going to take the first. Could be a Blast Burn, but... Oh, it is a Blast Burn. That's going to do a lot of damage. And they're already at another one. Now I kind of have to shield. Otherwise, Galv can't really deal with this thing. Just Disarming Voice. Interesting. Maybe the wrong... Skeledirge running without that Torch Song, which is usually the play. They swap Venu, and I can swap in Galv, and this is going to be pretty good for Galv. Fury Cutter's going to chunk away neutrally at Venusaur. Vine Whip's resisted, and I correctly shield the Sludge Bomb, which is great. Going to lunge as soon as I can on proper timing. And now, can I even like go for a full farm down? I think that might be the play. I think we take a Sludge and potentially go for an entire Fury Cutter down. Come out with lots of energy. Skelly doesn't have an attack. I go for the lunge here because I wasn't 100% sure if I would live the Incinerate. I think I would have anyway, maybe. So lunge seemed like the safe play. I also could have just thrown Discharge right away and won the game. So this was kind of an unnecessary switch. But then we swap in. But yeah, I think the lunge was actually a decently smart play to guarantee that I live the Incinerate, because a lose con could have been like not good throwing Discharge, not living the Incinerate, and then a move gets thrown at my Bellibolt. So we get the win there. On to the next one. King Mandingo. Here we go. Galv into Pidgeot. Not as great as you might think. We do have the access to super effective Discharge, which is nice, but we're dealing resisted Fury Cutter damage. We're taking neutral Gust damage, so this is not that bad for Pidgeot. I decided no shield. I figure they're probably not going to Brave Bird a Galvantula. It seems kind of like overkill, you know? And I get debuffed, so I safe swap Kingdra. They build up a ton of energy here. This could very well be a Brave Bird, but I decide to let it go, force them to debuff themselves, which they do. They swap in Pod. I get off a Parting Octazooka, really hoping for that debuff, and we don't get it. Not ideal, but I can probably come in with Bellibolt here. What do I do? No, I come in Galv since I'm already close to a Discharge. I guess that makes sense. Come in Galv, Discharge, puts them low. Then I come in Belly. And I was a little bit slow in the swap there. If I was faster, I would have got an extra Sucker Punch through. But I did a one-turn swap. Luckily, it doesn't allow them to get to another, so I'm a bit fortunate there. And, dude, they're triple weak. They're triple weak to Belly. I don't bother for any fancy undercharge here. I just want to get rid of this Pidgeot because he's going to need 3 Hydro Cannons. 1 to get the shield, 2 to take me out. I'm only going to need 2 Parabolic Charges, so I should simply outpace in this situation. We shield the first so we can buff ourselves again before taking a Hydro Cannon. And Bellibolt. Too strong. Opponent recognizes it's over. Bellibolt is busted. These are the decisions you have to deal with as a content creator. That could be a good title. Bellibolt is busted, but Galv is like more unique. I think everyone's running Bellibolt right now. Galv is a little bit more unique, so I think Galv might get the title. Safe swap Snorlax, interesting. Snorlax, we're gonna debuff here and then go into Belly. They build up a ton of energy here, which is smart because even if they don't have Earthquake, they're making me wonder what if they have Earthquake. So I shield. It's just a Body Slam, so not really a good use of a Protect Shield by me. I go for the Parabolic Charge right away, putting on the pressure and it does knock out, so we are super healthy and buffed at this point. This is not going to be comfortable for Gator to take out. I think even 2 Hydro Cannons not going to be enough, as you see, since it's a non-shadow Gator. Bellibolt. Another parabolic charge. Man, putting in a lot of work here. Gonna take another Hydro Cannon easily. And they're gonna swap into Ty. I throw this. It probably would have been better for me to save this for Gator, but this is fine. It still does a solid deal of damage to Typhlosion. And now I can probably just commit to a full farm down on Typhlosion, and they believe it to be over, so it's going to be a good game. Yeah, I think I would farm down. I'd probably come out with an Outrage, and then Galv can get to a move, so pretty much over. And that is a 5-0 set, ladies and gentlemen. 5-0. Phoebus is the reward. And it's on to the next one. And we started this day of GBL sets like in the low 2300s or something. So I did not expect to hit Veteran on this day, but sometimes it's when you least expect things in life. They tend to come into fruition. Galv into Bellibolt. We haven't seen too many of them so far in this video, actually, opposing Bellibolt. Going for the lunge here. I don't mind this matchup. Our neutral Fury Cutters chunk, and they actually shield the lunge. Interesting. I guess they figure if they're going to shield anything in this matchup, you might as well shield the first one. Makes sense. I'm just going to stay in, and after this next lunge, they're probably going to be forced to throw again. I don't think they can fully Sucker Punch me down before another lunge. So yeah, they throw again. We're not going to bother shielding. And I decided just to let myself get farmed. Oh, actually, combo play. But this locks them in against my Bellibolt, which is pretty nice. I wonder if I shield the first one. Yep, shield the first one, since I'm going to buff myself and they might get to another. Parabolic charge coming through. Opponent is going to shield. Is Pod going to reach double here? No, it's actually a charge attack priority, so I can simply let this go. I know my parabolic charge is going to knock out, and I'm going to have a double buffed Bellibolt. And they no longer have any protect shields remaining, so this could be pretty good for us. What comes in? They come back in with Bellibolt. Interesting. And I win the charge attack priority. So now we have our triple buffed Bellibolt. And Kingdra still up a shield. Oh, baby. They knew they couldn't hex us down before another move, so they top left. Yeah, Bellibolt is so strong, man. So strong. I don't know what someone wants to ask there. But yeah, another win for Mr. Bellibolt. And Galv has been treating us well in the lead. Even the games we've lost against, or we've lost the lead, rather, against the Incinerate users, it's like set up the Kingdra, because when Kingdra gets such a head start, sometimes that can set up an advantage for us. They swap out of the Virizion into their own Bellibolt, and I'm going to lunge it and then go my own Bellibolt. That way we're able to do a considerable amount of damage, where we should have a fine time just keeping switch. The awkward thing here, right, is I do desync the switch timer, so I could put myself in a predicament where they swap back into Virizion and start to get a head start on energy. So we have to be a little bit careful of that, but they're just going to Zap Cannon me and give me the farm down. And then this is weird. It's like I want to preserve my Bellibolt, but at the same time, like giving up switch I know could be costly, especially if there's like an Incinerate user in the back, right? So I do decide just to stay in, force them to expend energy. I think they might have doubled up there. So they've got double Leaf Blade, and look at that, it's the Incinerate user. So I think we made the right decision. I think not getting greedy and giving up switch ended up being the right decision. And I shielded Torch Song. That's not the right decision. You don't want to shield a Torch Song with your Kingdra. Probably should have let it go because, I don't know, in my head I thought maybe they'd go straight for Shadow Ball or something, but I guess you get the chance for the debate, yeah, so. And then once we call the Torch Song Bay that time, then they decide to top left. We also got the Octazooka debuff, so that was a tough alignment for the opponent. As long as we kept our alignment right, we were going to be in a pretty good position that game. Sometimes that's all you really need to do. Keys to PvP, keeping alignment. Galv into Pharaoh, great lead for Galv. We resist everything. And they're staying in, which is odd. Pharaoh would be pretty bad for our back line as well. Oh, I throw in terrible timing. That's embarrassing. Terrible timing. Let in a free bullet seed. They save the energy, go in Skelly, and I probably should have gone in Kingdra here, but for whatever reason, I go in Belly. Maybe it was like making a read that it's double Incinerate. Or maybe it was just a misclick. I don't know. But we go Belly here. Let's see how easy we're able to retain Switch. They do get off a second attack. Not ideal. But Belly hangs on. But we had to go down a shield in the process. So, honestly, not great. Because they can just come in with Pharaoh and Bullet Seed down. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. But we get to a Zap Cannon. Hold up. This Pharaoh has 100 energy. And that energy, bang, goes to waste. Goes to waste. I come in with Kingdra. And then I just degen straight Octazooka. Straight Octazooka. Give me the debuff. Yes. Yes. You are permanently debuffed, Squidward. And they top left. They can't handle the Kingdra. Oh my gosh. What a battle. What a battle. I mean, yeah, if we had gone Kingdra into Skelly, I think we would have been just fine as well. Then Bellibolt on Tentacruel. But getting that farm down and Ferrothorn literally having over 100 energy. Like, they maxed out. They might have gone over 100, I think. And then just all of it going to waste with that Zap Cannon was kind of nice. Good lead for Galv. But of course they have access to that super effective Rock Tomb, so we do have to be careful of that. Might want to put up Protect Shields in this matchup. Lunge connects. Interesting that they just let it go through. And we are going to put up a Protect Shield for the Rock Tomb, respecting it. They come in Jelly. I'm going to counter with Belly. And I actually shield, so I'm going down both Protect Shields here, but I understand that they might be less likely to bait in that situation since I'm not buffed yet. And now that I'm buffing myself and they actually shield, like, this is going to become a more dominant matchup for Bellibolt, of course. Bellibolt going to eat the Shadow Ball here. Gotta throw after 4, so this way if they let it go, we have some more energy going into the next matchup. And then this really surprised me. They double shield Jelly, but the problem for them is this next move is not going to knock out. We're double buffed. Shadow Ball, not enough. And I get off another Parabolic against Pod. Dude, Belly, you're too good. You're too good, Belly. We're going to go for the farm down. Hopefully we can get the Dragon Breath down before they get to double X-Scissor. But even if they do, maybe we're still okay. Yeah, they do get there. But both of their remaining Pokemon are quite low and don't have energy either, I believe. So they're going to come in with Credilli. I'm just going to Octazooka immediately. And the Jellicent was quite low, right? So we might even be able to Dragon Breath down before the Hex down. Oh, actually, they do... Oh, Simul KO, wow. Yeah, the Dragon Breath really outpaced the Hex damage there, even though Jelly was considerably more healthy. GG. I think there might be one more battle remaining in this video. And this team has been a lot of fun. I'll probably run it today on stream and see if it keeps on working today. Sometimes you have a team that works really well for like a few days, and then the meta starts to adjust, and then maybe it doesn't work as well as much. So I'll probably test it out again today, see if it keeps on working for me, and if not, maybe we'll make some adjustments, try out a new team. Feel free to let me know in the comments any teams that have been working for you guys. Here we go. Galv into Virizion. Definitely feels like more won leads in this video than lost leads. We saw a few Skeledirge early, but other than that, lots of positive leads for Galv. Lunge coming through. They're going to build up to like, whoa, that's 7. So easily enough energy for Stone Edge, but we call the bait. Just a Leaf Blade. Beautiful. Another lunge. Really putting on the pressure. They have tons of energy, so they might want to shield. No, they just let it go. And look at how dominantly Galv won that matchup because they were more inclined to keep building up. We land the discharge. Galv just putting on a clinic here. And I'm at a health range where I'm like, he's going to have to Scald again. So I actually decide to shield Galv. And, yeah, I'm just like, I guess putting in as much work as I can here with Galv. We force him to Scald again. And now Squidward is pretty dang low. We've almost got our 2-on-1 fast break situation. And I figure even if this is Sludge Wave, like, I get off a move against something with Kingdra. I still have a fully healthy Bellibolt. Should be in a pretty good spot, and it's a Lapras, so I just go for the Outrage. Feel like this is the safest play. Guarantee big damage or a shield. I get the shield, swap Belly. And with shields down, this game is over. This is over. We shield the first. It was the Ice Beam as well. I just go Parabolic because, yeah, after that, like 2 moves aren't even going to threaten to knock us out. And that is a good game. 10-0 run. I think it was a 14-1 run with this team, but 10-0 in these 2 particular sets. Back-to-back 5-0s. Pretty dang cool. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We get more Pekko as a reward, and we unexpectedly hit the veteran rank. Woo-hoo. Screenshot that. Get some pants as well. Also, check out these comfy, like, pajama pants I got. Kind of stylish. All that said, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, comment down below. All your comments are appreciated. And all that said, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.